Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Nick Tan Chats, my magic and mostly mentalism review show. My name is Nick Tan, and on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about a witch hand effect called Swap, released by David D. So hi again guys, welcome back to the channel, and as always, thanks for showing up, thanks for tuning in and spending some time with me today. So I do hope that you guys have been having a great week thus far, alright? Personally for me, it's been good, because I think show business right here in Singapore is slowly beginning to open up again. Just last night, in fact, I managed to get booked for another 2 more stage shows, alright, for the end of this month. So I'm really happy about that. Also, the past week has been spent, in my head, kind of planning something because I'm part of this little magic event, that is happening in Singapore really soon. And, I've been asked to give like a mini little lecture of sorts, alright? So that's really exciting as well because it's really been a really long time since, I've managed to like gather with a whole bunch of magicians in the same room, just geeking out and chatting about magic and mentalism. On top of that as well, I've been approached by a theatre here in Singapore to possibly do a theatre show, alright? Another run of a theatre show that I wrote back in 2019, that I performed back in 2019, called Curiosity. If that falls through as well, I'm really excited to be able to get this show back on its feet and to do a couple of runs of the show here in Singapore. So anyway, enough about me, on to today's episode, alright? So the witch hand effect, so for mentalists and, magicians possibly, this is an effect that has gotten quite a bit of attention over the years as well. I think personally it's because of Darren Brown, right? When Darren Brown kind of popularized this, coin in hand effect. And I think I've discussed in quite a bit of detail, all right, my opinions and how I use the witch hand effect in my own work, in my own show, in a previous episode of Nick Tan Chats, all right, where I reviewed the item called Totem, all right, by Alex Ng, that was presented by Henry Harris. All right, so if you're interested to have a look at that episode as well, do look it up on my channel. So just some time ago, David D emailed me with this particular PDF, all right, called Swap. I had a look at it. When I saw that it was a witch hand effect, I was kind of interested in it because I do personally perform it on and off in my own work, in my own show as well. So I decided to take a look at it. So what do you get when you purchase Swap? It's just a 5-6 page PDF. Okay, so it's a really short PDF, really tiny. You're going to read it in 5 minutes. Well, because the description is just so short, I think it's a clue as to how simple the effect is to describe to you, and how simple the method is as well. All right, to describe to you as well. I keep saying as well. So the effect is as such, all right? You present a coin to your spectator, or they can use their own coin from their own pocket. Doesn't really matter, just, get a coin. From here, they place the coin behind their back and, they'll make, well, shall we say, some decisions, okay? Now, these are really fair-feeling decisions. Decisions that feel very fair. So yeah, they make some decisions, okay? And these feel really free, it's not like strange or contrived in any way, okay? And from here, you will be able to, with 100% accuracy, tell them which hand is empty. Okay, you will be able to tell them which hand is empty. From here, the effect is repeated once more. You have them place, both fists behind their back again. They make just another decision, okay, and they bring their fists out one more time. And at this point, to close the whole sequence, you will be able to tell them with 100% accuracy where the coin is. And that's it, okay? So it's a witch hand effect with 2 phases built in. And so that's it, all right? Again, it's a witch hand effect with 2 phases built in. And as I mentioned, I've left out certain details, all right? Because the method is just 100% script dependent. And the script is really easy, it's really simple to learn. It will just take you a couple of runs through to kind of, memorize the whole thing. Now, I will tell you guys, all right, when I first read the method to the effect, at that point, I was thinking in my head, there's no way this is gonna fly. It feels kind of transparent, and kind of obvious, and I was just thinking that, a spectator would instantly kind of be able to suss what is happening. But I decided to kind of trust the method, and so I decided to kind of try it out, right? So I found a friend, which in itself is quite amazing because I don't really have many friends. And I just kind of performed this routine for my friend, and pleasantly surprised, that it actually fooled them, it actually worked. And then after that, I also tried it again in a couple of casual situations with a couple of friends. And again, it just seemed to fly, seemed to work. Also, I had a little Zoom call with someone else, a friend of mine, to discuss something else that is non-magic related. I also tried it with him over our Zoom call. All right, so this does work over Zoom as well. So it's just another interesting thing that you can throw into your kind of virtual performances. So when I thought that the method was kind of transparent, I was pleasantly surprised that it does fly. All right, as long as you just kind of perform it, with some confidence, it really works. I do like it that this routine is really just like 100% impromptu, as long as you have a coin, and it can be really any object, right? It doesn't have to be a coin. I mean, it could be a ring. Another idea that, I have is to use a billet. You could have a spectator, think of something, write something on a billet, fold it up, perform swap, and get the two phases in before you kind of reveal information as well. Okay, so that's another possibility. Why I thought of that, okay, is because the only kind of downside to this is that, well, it's only two phases, and it kind of feels a little bit incomplete. And it doesn't feel finished, okay? To just leave the routine hanging after you've kind of located where the coin is, after just twice. I feel that it kind of needs something else to follow up after this, so you could, I don't know, go into like a tequila hustler or something like that, which is why, the thought about using a billet and, having information to reveal, at the end of the whole thing kind of made sense to me on a kind of routine or structure kind of a standpoint. Something else I like about it is that it is not complicated to perform, and it's not complicated for your spectator to follow along as well, because many times, in this sort of routine, all right, where, the method is just 100% verbal, there is always this liar and truth teller kind of a premise. Depending on what your spectator chooses, it can get a bit confusing for them, to play a certain role. I've had, many occasions where a spectator just kind of gets confused, along the way, while they were playing the role of something, they ended up answering something else, that kind of a thing. So it can be confusing, the liar truth teller thing, but this routine does not have that. Okay, it does not use the liar truth teller thing, so it is really simple, really straightforward for your spectator to understand and to follow along. Again, the only negative about this is that it's kind of like too fast. It ends really like quickly, right? It's just two phases. So while I like it a lot, it's really clever. Okay, the script is really clever. You will kind of need to work in a follow-up effect or a routine immediately after performing this. So I don't know, I could see this as kind of like an opening sequence, an opening routine of sorts, to get you into something else after that. But all in, it's really clever, really simple to learn, really clever, easy for spectators to follow along as well. Okay, and it's just $10, $9.95. At $9.95, I think it's a real steal. I'm going to quickly end this episode right now because I can hear, someone cutting grass outside my apartment right now, so it's going to get really noisy really soon. So I'd like to thank David D, all right, for sending this to me so that I can chat about it with you guys on this show. If you'd like to pick up a copy of Swap for yourselves, I'm going to leave the link in the description box down below. It is available from Penguin Magic. And there we go. I think you can already hear the buzz and the hum of the the grass cutting. So that's all for today's episode, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed yourselves. As always, stay safe, take care of yourselves, enjoy your magic and your mentalism, and I will see you on a future episode of Nique Chats.